MCs wale wakatika mataa watamini viskansi kuwapata wakiflow kapa wakiblow hard kuwapata wakiblow kuniata kwa track wangani kumplat hata straw tuwana drown kaka mjaja kasungura hata majoro yuko shua tupo liriko rumani uko tu kule njiwa Chapo na fast kumanda fast blast wana obra kwenye wanga fast kulamba arms walking constant you know remain constant kama mask na tupa mawe cause brain yangu siya class unlike wale otherwise kwa wamenifunja vile dedi kwa microphone kwa kawana niangusha sibaki mistari kwa kucha usiku kucha mawaki mziza au kutakwa loko jikumbusha nikianza kuroka sorry but the show's over cause we be the show stopper na biro the show's over wenye ngumu kuwapata wakiwa sober by 5:30 daily wapata wamefikia baso sofa saile niko home na banga kaa baso kwa sofa wanabaki sopi wakisoma stories za mikaa sofa poster madodi na wapend down na hit car toaster wanajidai na vile na wavudika baki mina toasters
This is Blackwood Fire Radio. This is Blackwood Fire Radio.
MCs wanna try kuflow na me kwa beat to be trapped die nikiwa too steep kuro ima na capsize wanazidi kudistill but deep in me wanazidi kudistill wana keep still kawa me advice kujideshe gani but kofi yako wanaingiza maji ka Titanic unazisema track the Atlantic sharp and silly trade white wengine ni kama panfish wacha MCs behind bars kama macanfish nina kipawa inawatia tema preserver yo na mashake clear the time kati wawa speed flow na flag ni kama tuwa udalani weti bridge but kwa mic utopo ikutoa huku udarani kwa simplicity na ni simplicity inafanya na bring history split fiti wakili face lazima waswe kama PCT mambo za ethnicity missity yeah stories that tribes na ni stress yeah
Blackwood Fire Radio, media for the 21st century.
Yes, what's up, wonderful family? Welcome to the Rhythm Scoop Show right here on the Blackwood Fire Network Media for the 21st century. On yet another wonderful day of the week, Tuesday. Here calling Zobi calling it a terrific Tuesday, but it's not terrific for the moment because we are going to get you by
entertainment, art and culture as we serve you each and every day right here on the Blackwood Fire Radio Media for the 21st century. We hope that this particular day is coming great for you. It being the 9th of November, and of course it is the second week of November, and I hope that you are, feeling the vibe of this particular month as
in conversation with you. Do remember to interact with us on the comment section. You can slide your comment and tell us how you're feeling, how is your day going, and yeah, we will appreciate. And thanks to everyone who takes their time to listen to us, and thank you very much.
I was just wondering what happened. I think Katie's voice changed. I was just wondering what happened. I think her voice is a little bit I don't know what happened with Katie's voice, but thank you so much, family, for joining us on the broadcast. It's always a vibe when we connect right here on the Blackwood Financial Media for the 21st century. Key, thank you so much for giving us this platform, and also for those that have been supporting the Blackwood Financial, we truly value and appreciate you. We hope that at the end of the day we can be able to learn together and also connecting as an African people, because we believe united we stand and divided we fall. That is why we are always about African unity anywhere on the globe. We are trying to bring our people back together, whether be it that you are in the Caribbean, whether be it that you are in on the continent, wherever you might be at as a black person. We just want to embrace you with love and also inspire with the information that you get here, and also try change your perspective and also inform your perspective about the continent of Africa. I understand that so many people have had stories about Africa. So many people have had misperceptions and misconceptions about Africa because people do not want to engage with indulge themselves in research. You have to go and look for the information yourself. information might not particularly come to you. You have to go out there and commit yourself to knowledge and commit yourself to learning. And once you do so, you will be much more enlightened about what is happening on the continent and even what is happening globally around you. That is what we do. So you might have Google. You might think that now.
We know what's happening on the continent. You told me something very disturbing.
The Koreans have taken over, but we do hope that that can be reversed.
You taught me something very disturbing. No, Katie, I like her shirt.
Yeah.
Her voice has changed, Mike, because she realized she got to fight for free now. She's scared.
Yeah, her voice has changed a little bit, but she's doing alright. And we also do have Zobi here, who says she has lost her appetite. I don't know what has happened to her system, but maybe you could give us a few tips, but not necessarily. Anyone who has some few tips on how someone can get back their appetite, please engage us on the social network. Engage us on the chat.
She lost appetite, bro. Who's it? Is Katie lost appetite? Joby
No,
lost appetite.
it's Joby who says she has lost her appetite. She might be hungry, but she does not want to eat anything. I would just like to engage the family. If anyone knows of some remedies on how someone can get to.
That happens to everybody from time to time. You're just not hungry. And you just maybe hungry, but you lost your appetite. You're not feeling ill or anything, right?
I do. I've been having some stomachache and whenever I eat,
that is how I can describe the situation. A deep disaffection.
You feel nauseated. I say when you eat it, you feel nauseated or something.
I vomit. I'm vomiting. I've been having headache, stomachache, and just the loss of appetite, which is really
probably nausea as well.
Yeah,
probably nausea.
It's really nausea.
So she might be suffering from electrolytes. She doesn't have enough. I mean, she got to drink more fluids, more juices as far as vegetable juice. She might have not enough electrolytes.
That is what Kito was telling her here, and I think Kito also agrees with you.
Yeah, I recommended her that.
So I was wondering.
What did Katie say?
No, she was saying she had recommended the same to Joby right here. But I want to thank everyone who is joining us on the stream. Thank you so much for being with us on the Blackwood Fire Network. Thank you, Keith, for giving us this platform. I just came across a few tips on how you can increase your appetite or improve your interest in eating. One of them is get plenty of rest. Exercise likely before the meals to stimulate the appetite. You can exercise a little bit before eating your meals to stimulate your appetite. You can
get lots of sun. Sunlight.
And stay
get a lot of rest. Get sunlight.
And stay well hydrated. That is also another important point. Staying well hydrated, so that your body is
hydrated. That's the vegetables and stuff. Get a lot of fruit juice as far as smoothies. That would replenish your vegetable intake. Like just with healthy like oranges and pineapple juice and just a lot of juice.
Okay.
And also there is one more point.
Melon.
Yeah.
I don't like melon.
Go ahead.
She doesn't eat melon. Katie is a melon eater. She doesn't like to eat melon herself.
I know. She always says that because she grew up eating melons. But you were lucky growing up eating melons. I'm telling you, eat them melons. Tell me I don't want to hear nothing from you. You eat them damn melons.
I can't stand.
But
I can't even stand the smell.
Lesson. What's going on with okay, that's okay. I was just saying that I've also seen something important here. They say that why does one lose appetite? Loss of appetite can be related to lowered immune system function, feeling unwell, and having an upset in the stomach. Medical conditions that cause loss of appetite include digestive conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome and the Crohn's disease, a hormonal condition known as Addison's disease. But anyway, the problem is when people go into the internet and look for symptoms, you'll find all symptoms and you'll click all the boxes and you'll start worrying over everything. You'll find, that is how they have it.
Exactly.
That is how they have it on the internet. So you might as well be very careful even when you go looking up for answers on the internet, especially when you're not feeling well. They might even blow your mind away, thinking now I'm sick with all these ailments. Well, it's not even that level. But yes, it's important for someone to stay well hydrated and also to select enjoyable foods and that have a pleasant aroma. I don't know what has a pleasant aroma that Joby likes to eat, but maybe someone else might have also. Someone else might have also experienced the same kind of a challenge. But nonetheless, I want to take us all the way back into another country. And this is a rhythm scripture, but still I want to take you all the way into Cape Verde. Cape Verde is a country that is on the African continent that you will rarely hear anything about. You know, it's also an island country, and the archipelago is made up of 10 islands. It's on the continent. It's an island country known as Cape Verde.
Cape Verde's got a lot of coons.
I don't know about the coons in the Cape Verde, but it has 10. It's made up of 10 islands.
A lot of coons come from Cape Verde because they're mostly a mixed African society with European and black. There's a lot of cooning going on Cape Verde. Everybody knows Cape Verde. A lot of cooning on Cape Verde. Like, a lot of cooning on Cape Verde.
Are you saying they make
African island where the Africans don't want to be considered African?
Are you saying they make better coons than the Caribbean islanders? Are you saying they're making better coons than the Nigerian? They are taking away Nigerians' place and the Caribbean islanders are placed. That is what Kir is saying.
Well, there's not that many. Luckily enough, there's not enough Cape Verdeans out there. The sponsors not enough. Nigerians are so many, you know, they do so much damage because there's so many. There's not a lot of Cape Verdeans out there. Like, but when they come off that island, it's straight cooning.
But here are some of you facts, because I was saying that sometimes you not focus on some countries on the continent. You would rarely hear us giving you news about Cape Verde, or telling you what is happening in Mauritius, or telling you what is happening with Sao Tome and Principe.
But that was one of your main slave. That was one of your main slave courts right there, where they took the Africans to break them, and then of course rape the black women, rape the black men, and you know they got really mostly like a fixed mulatto class on that island now. And like I said, when they get to that island, it's a lot of cooler, a lot of dysfunction. I don't know whether they're African or European. So they side mostly with the European masters who brought them there to break them.
They say the population is at 500,000 people. It's 500,000 people that are from these islands, are from these collection of islands, because it's a collection of 10 islands which make up the country, Cape Verde. So it's not as many.
There's not many people. Yeah, so there's not many people. So the cooling don't do as much damage. It's not that many. And a lot of them don't leave Cape Verde. But when they get up that island, it's straight cooling.
No, they say that there has been repeated droughts and famine that have led many people to migrate to the USA, Europe, Africa, and South America. That is what they do say, because of the lack of.
I told they didn't migrate to America. I said the few have got out there. It's straight cooling. That's what I just said. Cape Verde to America. Everyone I met is a straight up cool.
But
you can't tell them nothing bad about their enemy. White people, they enslaved us to make us feel better. They taught us. White people enslaved us and raped us, and it was all good. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? How can rape be good? It's good to keep the nigga out of us. Now we mix.
They are mulattoes. They are mulattoes. They are mulattoes. I don't know. Was it colonized by the French or the Portuguese or the British? I'm not sure. We'll be checking to see.
It was the Portuguese. The Portuguese came in first. I think it went back and forth because the Portuguese, the French had it for one. You know they were warring back and forth over Africa. So one time the French would have it, the Portuguese would have it, then the English would have it. Then I think it ended up finally in French hands. French or English hands, because the Portuguese got weak. Portuguese as an empire got weak, and so they were easily defeated.
It was the Portuguese in the 15th century. It was the Portuguese. It was the Portuguese. I think then later it went to the British, because after the Philippine dynasty began, but 1518 then captured in 1855 the colony.
Remember when you start reading this, the Portuguese in Spain. Spanish come out of Europe first because that was the teaching by the Moors. They were talking about the Africans, so that's the first European empire. Later on, they start falling, and you start getting the British and the French and the Dutch. If anybody doesn't know, the Dutch were a colony actually of the Spanish. The Spanish controlled what we call the Dutch. The Dutch was an empire of the Spanish in Europe.
Holland. And also, I do realize that you are actually very right, because they have a question here: what race is the Cape Verdeans? They are saying since the Cape Verdeans are primarily a mix of African and Portuguese ancestry. I think the Portuguese did much of sleeping with the women of this. They spawned crackers. Like you would have the more spawning niggers, They also they would spawn crackers here in
You
Cape
just
Verde.
have the Cape Verde, they're all fucked up in their head. That's I'm explaining it to you exactly. And John Henry Clark was going to write the book. Before he said it was going to cause the African continent to go on fire. He was going to tell the truth. But he was too scared to write it before he died. When Kane was asking Tipper, who's this Dr. Clark? Who's this Dr. Clark? And Dr. Clark said he's going to write a book, and the African needs to write it called The Bastard of History. The bastard of history are the mulattoes who have conspired with our enemies to destroy Africa. He was there right there, but he said, I never got the nerve to write it. But it needs to be right. The bastard of history. And that's what the Cape Verdeans are. Bastards of history.
They are a mix of everything. I see they are a mix of French, they are a mix of Spaniards, and they are a mix of Italians. They are a mix of Italians. Everyone had their time. Everyone had their time with the Cape Verdeans, and they go to spawn these brothers, and it's crazy.
Exactly. Everybody got the chance with the African woman on that island, and that's all mixed up. And you got the bastard of history. I told you when you meet them, they're all fucked up. I'm Italian. I'm French. I say, hey, Italian don't think you're Italian. The French don't think you know French. And the damn Portuguese don't think you're Portuguese. They know they think you're a nigger.
They don't care whether you're Italian, Portuguese, or whether you're Italian, Cape Verdean, or whether you're this and that. They could really care less about that. They will still
and they do the
subjugate
bit. So they always do the bit. They always do the bit about enemy. They are the bastards. It's like very self-hate contributed to these mulatto group of people. They always are your sellout. You can't have no mulatto. If I build any organization, I gotta find out who if a mulatto shows up, I gotta vet that ass. I gotta vet you. I don't trust your ass.
They say sometimes they want to lean on which side that favors them. You can play the black card or you can play the white card, and the mulattoes will play the white card most of the time, and you will have the black people. They will be fronting on. They will be throwing the black people on the black when they play. They think they can play both cards. You can play the white card.
I don't trust your ass.
You will play the white card because you have divided allegiance. But nonetheless, they do say they are interesting things you see in Cape.
Where you go?
There are interesting things you see in Cape Verde. Some of them happens to be the humpback holes. I have never seen a hole myself. Maybe Katie has. I have also never seen these turtles that they are talking about. They are very almost extinct turtles. They are known as the loggerhead turtles. I have never seen the turtles before. Neither have I ever seen.
You got the big turtle. If you wouldn't have left Tanzania, you would have seen them big, huge ass turtles all on Zanzibar. Early this year, I'll send you guys to Zanzibar for maybe a couple of days this next month anyway.
These are the smaller ones.
Huge turtles. They have like 4. Well, I don't care about those small turtles. the big ones that live 400 or 500 years are. I like the ones that have been alive for like 400 or 500 years.
Yeah. And so that is where you can also see the sporting.
So Jackie can tell her stomach be better by that. She can sit on one of those turtles, and one of those turtles that her great grandfather, her great grandmother, and it probably was Joby herself.
The brother who
oh, you're back. You're back.
The brother who took the family, the Blackwood family to Zanzibar, is always tagging us on his photos on Instagram. I can't remember his name, but I think he lives in Zanzibar. So every other minute,
I sent a message to tell him that you guys are coming back. Yeah, he's like, when's the family coming back? When's coming back to Zanzibar? I said, well, I'm sending 2 lovely ladies over to be respectful and watch over.
He's always
Katie and Jeremy.
He's always with the Mzungu. He's always with the Mzungu there in Zanzibar. He's always with the Mzungu, with the Mzungu there in Zanzibar.
That's who goes. they got the money to go on damn vacation to it. Like I told you, you and Cuba were the few African people to get out of the country. You can't talk about Africa no more because you got passport. Your family, the African elite in this country is rare. Most Africans don't have passports. They don't leave the country. They've never been outside the country. You go to Rwanda and that is rare now. Because Africans been put in poverty, travel, like it used to know each other. So, when you come back to Tanzania, Rwanda, how is it? You said, it's almost the same. No differences.
Your audio kill is a bit choppy. Your audio is a bit choppy. You can hear you like you cut up in it's choppy. But most Africans have never left. Most Africans have never left the continent. They even asked for myself before joining the Blackwood Fan Network. I had never left Nairobi, and therefore it's the same for many Africans. You'll find, for example, about maybe 80-90%, not even 90, maybe about 95% of the people on the continent have never crossed the borders from their country since the borders were set up. So that would be about 95%.
They put organized poverty. They better control poverty. So you've been to Uganda, you've been to Rwanda, you've been to Tanzania.
So you see things.
You've been most places that Africans in Kenya have never been to.
I was saying about 95%. I would bet about 95% of the people have not left their borders and gone anywhere else. But nonetheless, family, I want to take us all the way to South Africa. We just leave Cape Verde at that. We want to go into South Africa, and South Africa is one of the countries that is being coerced, not even being coerced, but they have put themselves in a very difficult situation because they are being used as a scapegoat for this whole global World Climate Summit. Now the South Africans have gotten a deal. South Africa will get $8.5 billion from the US, the EU, and the UK to speed up the shift from coal. So they are giving this money to South Africa so that they can stop using coal. And we know all these other countries, China is using coal, Australia is using coal, and even the US itself is using coal. But now they want the South African to leave. Yeah, they want to dump them down. Yeah.
That's dumb. That's dumb. Because if coal is producing energy that you need at a cheap rate, the Africans can't afford all these high energy costs. Coal is cheap, so they should never agree to that. See, what they're trying to do is set China up as the power. But China's too fucked up. See, the white man wanted to set these fucking slanty-head bastards as the next power. And sadly enough, white man, the other white people finally caught the gist what I've been saying for years. There was never no Chinese miracle. Chinese don't make shit. They copy and paste. So that's why they're not telling China to don't use coal, because they're supposed to be the next power on the planet. They're trying to, I'm gonna say, genocide the planet and make China a power. And if the Africans actually control South Africa, they would say no, because it's moronic. How the hell can people in South Africa afford these other energies when they're broken spoiled? South Africa, when you go to South Africa, to break your goddamn heart. African living in abject poverty. All these white people living all good and nice. They got all the stores. They got all the nice homes. The African don't even have sewage water.
Even the infrastructure itself is very poor. The infrastructure itself is very poor, and it's just a cross. You know,
it's only poor in the African region. It ain't poor in white people. When you go to South, I'm gonna send you guys there. I got you. When I send you to South Africa, oh no, the infrastructure is just as good as the United States, as good as Europe. Blow your motherfucking mind. Nice as hell. Only the African part are fucked up. Where white people go and do. I'll put it like this: the best infrastructure on the continent is in South Africa. That's no fucking Egypt. That's no Nigeria, not no Morocco. The best infrastructure on the continent is South Africa. That's why these goofy Africans down there don't want to fight, because they said, well, we don't want to look like the rest of Africa. You already look like the rest of Africa because your communities are impoverished. Just because the rest of the country looks nice, which it does, but that's controlled by a European. You don't get the benefit from none of that. the roads of South Africa the roads are just as good as America. The roads are in great shape. The infrastructure is great. The high model trains. The train system in South Africa is better than some parts of America.
Yeah, I understand the same. I hear, the train system. I don't know if Shepherd Simona has been using those trains. We will have to hear from him sometime. Just
it's expensive.
And no.
You probably can't afford it. It's expensive.
Or maybe it's segregation still going on.
To the right is,
yeah, segregation really. Maybe they're still not allowed to jump on the trains. The trains.
Of course, the segregation.
Trains. Yeah.
Of course, the segregation. And the African has done it about it. Joby thinks that he talking to you crazy, but no. So instantly the respect comes. Because they know that the African American is not to be fucked with. I'll knock your ass out.
Yeah.
So the respect comes quickly. But we know the African in South Africa is treated horribly.
So do you think
on his own country?
Do you think this whole global summit plan is to make the Africans are not get involved with our coal so that it can also delay our development? Because in South Africa right now, if you remove coal from the equation, then you delay the development.
It's fraudulent. Yes, guys, it's fraudulent. It's all this fake global change. It's fraudulent. All fakery. But like I said, you don't got the sophistication of African people to know that this is actually a war. Guys, there's global climate change. This is a war on African people. But the African's not sophisticated enough to even notice anymore. Sadly enough, he's been made moronic. So these things do not benefit African people. Why the hell would our people cannot afford these new
alternatives
you're talking about?
Yeah, the alternatives.
Okay. The lights are out.
Yeah, the lights are out here, but I hope that we are able to conclude on these particular matter even as we went up. No, can you still hear me? Let me just see. Our lights is just yeah, but we are here with a coal. We are here trying to use some coal to make some to create energy here by using the coal from South Africa. Yeah.
But they still want to kill it. It's to make sure that Africa stays in power. Understand the political system. Africa must be on the bottom.
That is. That is why they make sure that now South African will be ditching, will be leaving coal, and they will be given small money, and then that small money will not help them do anything. They are saying that they want to use South Africa as a model for countries that are living, and you find South African countries are even acting stupid because you find Africa, we do not have real carbon emissions because we are not industrialized. The continent is not industrialized. We do not have companies emitting the. And they wanted to remain that way. I was sharing a video sometimes back about the DRC Congo because they do have the potential for hydroelectricity. You know, they do have some of the biggest rivers, the River Congo, and they would use that river to generate hydroelectricity to pump to sell the energy to the rest of the African countries. But no one will do it. They do not have the proper maybe funding to set up that the hydroelectric plant on the River Congo. Yeah. 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 You can keep your bronze statue for you to yourself. We do not need any bronze statue with us here on the continent. But nonetheless, family, I wanted to go. I want to share with us the matter of environmental conservation, because people do confuse these particular issues, and you do hear people talking about Africa being, a lot of environmental degradation. But we also do forget the mining that is being done by the Chinese is causing this environmental degradation. We have seen many Chinese companies being given big contracts, and I don't know what Kitty and Joby feels about environmental conservation and this degradation for Joby.
For me, I think we need, for you to sustain your environment, as I said, I think we need to create employment. This goes back to when we had Governor Sonko. He did create employment among young youths to, conserve, or rather ensure that the environments are clean. But again, people didn't see the progress that he made out of that. Instead, they were like, he didn't do anything about it. But just to conclude out of it, we need to create employment. We need to put people, to give young people opportunities to be able to conserve the environment and to keep it clean. That is what I can say.
For Kitty, what do you think maybe perhaps we should do as an African people to sort of
environment? Because I said so many people have turned to enemies of their own environment by littering everywhere, cutting down trees, and doing so many harms to the environment. So the first thing that we should do is create public awareness about the issue. Then after that, we should come up with ways of recycling waste products, like the litter, the takataka zile zinadampiwa, like the litter being littered everywhere. We should we should find a better way of collecting them and recycling, like the plastic bottles, which we recycle them and use them to make something good. Or we've seen people trying to recycle them and maybe make art with them. Yes, alafu kuna soil conservation. Yeah, we can try and conserve the soil, like we reduce the rain.
So the new ideas come from the youth.
Sorry?
Amy's right. That was right. The youth. I said the new ideas always come from the youth.
I agree. And what is
I was agreeing with Katie and you said, Jerry. I was agreeing with what you said. I was agreeing with Katie said. The new ideas always come from the youth. Go ahead, Spike.
Now they are saying, I want to talk about what is happening with the Chinese. They are involved with a lot of environmental degradation projects, which is from the mining. They when they're trying to extract resources to be put up in for use in the construction of infrastructure projects such as roads and bridges. They leave these gaping spaces and they cannot be used anymore for farming. But apart from that, I also want to bring attention to Gabon, because in Gabon they are saying this is the country that is going to become the first African country to get paid for protecting its forest. And Gabon is actually about 88% forest cover. So if anywhere you might go in, that is why some people think that Africa is a jungle, because countries like Gabon, you do find the country having 88% forest cover. And
Gabon was the Congo.
Yeah.
We're talking about they were also about the jungle because they were talking about the Congo. Gabon was part of the Congo. There was no damn Gabon, corrupt ass fucking place. Should never even be a country. As far as the Congo, all that area, when people talking about the jungle, they were talking about the Congo itself. Anyway, Africa's underdeveloped on purpose. We know that. I believe they can keep the forest. If Africans unite, like I said, the number one part is tribe. Africans if unite, you can keep the Gabon forest. It means you have other sectors within Africa. If you have everything, this sector be manufacturing, this sector be farming, this sector. All you gotta do is unite, and you become the power on the planet, unstoppable. And everybody knows that.
What they are saying is that the deforestation has come about because of the reduction in the oil revenues, because they were saying Gabon was making its money from oil, but now the revenues from oil have gone down, and now people have started going into cutting down trees and all.
Because what do they do? What the question is, like, trust to what? of the scheme, you know it's corrupt. Why didn't they take that money instead of steal it? No good, dirty bastards. Why didn't they take that money, steal it, and reinvest into the youth and educate the youth? And they would have came up with new industries for you to make money. Oh no, that's too much like right. Africa's always got to be backwards with corrupt ass criminals in charge.
And also,
you would took that money, reinvest in the youth, and they would came up with new industries to make the bone economic prowess work.
I'm just saying also, there is also a catch, because sometimes you're given deals. Right now they are saying that Gabon will actually be getting paid, and it's going to get paid. Let me see if I can pick up from, I don't know, this might be Shepo. Kids, let me hang up for a second. Let me pick up from Sepo and I hear what he has to say on the same. It might be Sepo. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Spikes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Simono. How are you doing?
I'm fine, my brother. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I don't know how it is in South Africa right now. Which part of South Africa are you based? Is it Durban or Johannesburg or Cape Town? Which part of South Africa are you based at right now?
No, it's Johannesburg. I actually live in Vloerhof. It's in Johannesburg.
Oh, okay. How are things going in Johannesburg? We were just talking about South Africa, and we have heard that South Africa is being given money so that they can move from the using of coal, and now the South African is supposedly supposed to be used as a model, and this is a model to show what other countries can do to move away from coal. Do you believe that the South Africans are getting a good deal? Because for me, I think this is a backward way of looking into the problem. They're saying South Africa will be getting 8.5 billion from the US, from the EU, and also from the UK to shift from the use of coal. I don't know how things are. I know the ESCOM is not able to provide much energy, but do you see this being a solution, giving South Africa 8.5 billion US dollars?
These people are using our country as a guinea pig.
Yeah.
That's what they are doing. But my primary concern is not actually that, because mostly it is white people who will benefit from these endeavors. My primary concern is this about black people. You see, they used Zimbabwe as an example to deter people from nationalism. So you understand me?
Yeah, I understand.
So black people in South Africa, black people in South Africa want to nationalize. We want to take control of our country. But they have used Zimbabwe, man. They destroyed that country. They choked the life out of Zimbabwe. That when our people look at Zimbabwe, it's just hard, man.
And I remember they imposed sanctions. I call it economic terrorism. The UK, the US, and everyone else. The EU also imposed sanctions on Zimbabwe. That is because the land was taken back. You know, Mugabe was taking back the land from the colonizers, and they gave it back to the people. And so what was happening is that they used Zimbabwe as an example for any other African country that might try to take back its land or trying to repossess, get back its own ownership. And right now, you go to a point where the currency for Zimbabwe got so bad, you would have to go to a shop using so many notes of money, or you'd have to go to whatever other place that you're trying to get anything with a whole bag to buy bread. I don't know if the situation is getting any good in Zimbabwe right now.
They definitely destroyed it.
Yeah, it is on its knees.
They definitely destroyed it.
But do you think South Africans should...
You have Zim.
Yeah. Can you go on, sorry, go on.
I'm saying you have Zimbabweans. You have Zimbabweans all over South Africa, and most of them don't want to go back. That country is utterly destroyed. They don't want to go back.
And
so South Africans, they look at Zimbabwe and they're scared to make that move. It's not that black people don't know which move they have to make. Everybody knows that the ultimate goal should be nationalism. That's how you seize power. But those potential sanctions, they know they are deadly. They will destroy you.
And also,
so people are scared, Spikes.
I understand now what is happening with Zimbabwe is now they are now turning east. From the west, they are going to the east, and in the east they are getting as bad deals, just like they were getting with the west. Because now the Chinese will be telling them, "This is what you have on the table. We want to offer you these. We want to offer you these loans and that thing in exchange for this and that." And you find all these deals are not even there to benefit Zimbabwe. And I think that is also what is happening with most African countries. They thought that after having been squeezed out of the deal by the US or by the UK or by the EU and these other bodies, they can look into China. but they realize now the deal with China is just as bad. You can see an example of Zambia. Zambia thought that they are going to make any good with their economy with the help of quote-unquote help of China. But now, it's like it has become the new China. I don't know if you have been watching closely what is happening with Zambia. They are making an example of it as well.
Yeah, Spikes, you see, Europe actually set up Africa to be exploited by everybody on the planet. That's how they want to keep things. You see, they want everybody to keep on exploiting Africa, keep on weakening it, so that we cannot fight. Like, look, if Africa is to fight, who are you going to fight? Like, we have too many enemies. Is the white man, is the Asian. On the continent, we have coons also.
Simona, do you know who the African? Do you know who the African is fighting? The African is fighting the African. The African is fighting the African. We are at war amongst ourselves, and which is the sad bad part of it, because the African doesn't even know who the enemy is. They think. I was talking to an African. I was talking to a brother
and the worst enemy African is the coon. The worst African enemy is the coon. There's no other enemy.
They are getting their butter biscuits from that. But I was talking to a brother from Nigeria, and we were asking them, what do you think the Chinese are doing in your country? And he says the Chinese are here to help us do business. They are here to help us improve our trade. And the brother has no idea even what is happening with the Chinese in their own country.
No, he's totally oblivious. Yeah. He's totally oblivious of what people are doing.
Yeah. But do you think the youth are ready? Because I have seen a lot of reluctance with the youth to do anything. I think I saw even for Julius Malema, he was saying that the youth are still waiting for their chance for power, but the chance is right now. Because, for example, the African Union, it's all people who run the African Union with all these government positions. It's all people that run them. The Africans, I think, are also, the African youth is also afraid of power and also afraid of taking over. I think that is my opinion. We are not really ready as the African youth to make things, to make a change. Maybe...
You see, Spines, Keith once asked this question about where will the revolution come from. And he potentially said Kenya, but I don't see Kenya like spearheading that revolution.
What Kenyans do is talk a lot on the
Kenyans
internet.
Are kind of like...
We talk a lot on the internet.
Kenyans are kind of like laid back that I see on the first.
I would say Nigeria.
Because the aggression of the Nigerian is like it's in your face.
Yeah. The Nigerians don't like to take any crap from anyone.
I'm saying that
go on.
I'm saying that the aggression of the Nigerian, like it's in your face.
Yeah.
Even in South Africa, two nations, it's either South Africa or Nigeria will spearhead the next revolution. That's what I think.
I'm not sure about South Africa, but I would say Nigeria. For Kenya, we like to be on the internet. We like to be on the internet talking a lot, especially on Twitter. Kenyans are on Twitter being very aggressive, but on the grassroots, you will not find them there. You know, you find them
aggressive on Twitter.
Yeah, that is what happens with the Kenyan. They speak a lot. Did
you just say? Spikes, did you just say aggressive on Twitter?
No, not really aggressive, but they show. No, I'm saying they express the aggression.
I'm talking about in the street.
That's what I'm saying. The problem
in the street, show your aggression on the ground, not on Twitter. Come on, man.
That is what I'm saying. The problem is you'll find that Kate with her phone on Twitter, she will be screaming on Twitter and raising her banners on Twitter and Toby on Twitter as well. But when you go to the grassroots, you will not find anyone there.
It won't work on Twitter. On Twitter is just useless. You're wasting your energy.
Do you know that there was some protest?
Besides, all the stuff can be censored anyway.
Yeah. Did you hear about Zambia last year before the elections? Was it this year? It was this year before the elections in Zambia. The government was trying to stop any protest from Zambia. You know, some youth groups were coming together and protesting. So what happened is that the people started getting arrested, and some people from Zambia decided that they will be doing their protest online, which is crazy, because they went into a bush, they put on their data, and they started streaming their protest, and the government was not amused.
Yeah, it's
Zambia.
Artificial.
Yeah, it was Zambia.
It's artificial.
It was
that type of that type of aggression is artificial.
It's passive aggression. It does not have people working. But I did see the reaction in what do you call this country? The country that borders South Africa. This is Swaziland, Eswatini. You know, they had people out there acting until the government now says we want to have talks. We need to address these particular matters in Eswatini. That is what Mswati did say. I think there are some talks going on with.
Yeah, I think they don't want the monarchy anymore.
Yeah, they're tired. They're tired because the monarchy.
Yeah, I think they don't want the monarchy anymore. Yeah.
They're tired. They went to the streets. They were aggressive in the streets, and now the government.
And by the way, Spikes, my father's a Swati.
Oh, okay. Zulu. Do we have Zulus in Swatini? Do you have the Zulu people in Eswatini? Do you have the Zulu in Swaziland?
No, there's no Zulu in Eswatini, but the Swatis, they come from the Zulus originally.
Oh, okay. I understand. I think there was the disintegration into different ethnic groups. So you have one group disintegrating into like 5 more, and then the 5 more.
No, it's like most groups, like is the Swatis, the Xhosas, the Shangans, and some of the Ndebeles, although there's a Zimbabwean influence, but a lot of these tribes that you see in South Africa, they come from the Zulus.
Kate was trying to be funny. She was asking whether you can speak in the click sound. I don't know why Kate would ask anything like that.
Of course I can. Of course I can.
I don't know if Kate is still interested.
Check this out, Spikes. You see, there are languages in South Africa that borrow the clicks from the Khoisan. So in Sesotho you have clicks. In isiXhosa you also have clicks. So I can speak some of that dolphin talk.
I was telling Kate maybe she should consider getting herself a husband from the Khoisan. You know, that would be.
Yeah, she's actually cute. No, not the Khoisan. Mean Spice, not the Khoisan. What are you talking about?
That would be Simono. Right here, but
and she's actually cute. She's actually cute.
They do say so. Even when the guests come in, they say so. But we do not have any Khoisan guests coming in. So we want to thank you, Simono, even as we continue with the conversation about the environment. And it's always wonderful to hear from you. I don't know if Akili is still also with us on the line. I think we also lost him, but that's all.
No, I'm still here, Spike. The thing is that with this online calling, it's daunting. Like, you have to get used to it. You see, I'm still grappling with how to communicate online.
But you don't want to be aggressive on Twitter. You rather also just get the work done on the streets and the work done at the grassroots as well. Not be like the Kenyans.
I don't use Twitter.
I am on Twitter myself, but I just get to see some news and I know what's happening around different places. That is why I get to use Twitter sometimes. But I think when it comes to Africans, get it when South Africans get it involved with this whole COP26. I think the Africans have nothing to do with the COP26. You know, you're being told this is what you want to do for Gabon, this is what you want to do for Nigeria, you want to do for Kenya. But these countries, they have not industrialized. So what are you talking about carbon emissions in Kenya, carbon emissions in Somalia? Somalia doesn't even have factories. You know, they import almost everything because they do not have real factories. But you're still telling Somalia that they should come to the table and talk about emissions.
The industrialization is not that extensive in African countries to a point whereby somebody can dictate what we should do in terms of the so-called climate change. Like, most industrialization is in Europe and Asia. So it's quite on a small scale in Africa, maybe more so in South Africa, but like, they cannot dictate that spike.
For South Africa, I know you have adopted the use of nuclear energy, and I know it's the only country on the continent that gets to use nuclear energy. I'm not sure about Egypt. I think Egypt doesn't have nuclear energy, and I think also, I think Egypt might have. I'll just confirm whether Egypt has nuclear energy.
No, they are building these plants of nuclear energy.
But people now.
I think there's a plant of nuclear energy that they're building.
Okay. Do you think there is a plan to devastate? You know, there is a plan to devastate Africa using these other sources? Because right now, if you remember correctly, in Europe they are trying to shut down. In Europe and other different places in Asia, they are shutting down their nuclear energy plants. But now they are telling Africa that you guys can go ahead and open nuclear energy plants. Do you see also this contrast in these two factors? Because in Europe, in other different places, they are shutting down their nuclear energy plants. But when it comes to Africa, they are telling Africa, okay, Africa, look here, nuclear energy is the way to go. How do you come up and tell me this is the way to go while in your own place you're shutting down the same systems and you're closing?
That's their latest hustle. That's definitely their way. That's what I think.
I agree with you to that particular extent. I don't know what Joby thinks on the same.
Sure, I also think the same, and that relates to the matter that I was trying to discuss earlier, whereby we've seen that Africa they needed to find ways on how they can improve the matters of climate, and I did get to see that they need trillions of dollars, and I was asking myself, why is it that we have to depend still on the Europeans, for them to make decisions unto us, when we know it is all to destroy us. They say they want to improve this, they give you loans, you are living under debt, you are living under a lot of things and under rules. You're not free to make your own decision as an African continent. That is what I really think about it.
And I want to share with us a link which is talking about why nuclear power plants are shutting down in Europe and also in Asia. And people should also ask themselves an important question. Why is it then that now Africa is being told that nuclear energy is the way to go? Rwanda has been a country that is there was a nuclear summit. There was a nuclear energy summit in Rwanda last year in Kigali. And the problem is, if someone's house is burning down and then they come tell you, no, we're trying to put the fire, and then they come to your place tell you should put up the same similar kind of a fire, you should be very, very wary of listening to these particular people, because I've shared with us the link of the same, why these nuclear energy power plants are being shut down in Europe and also in Asia, but they want the same to be opened. For example, the infamous Indian Point nuclear plant, located roughly 30 miles north of Manhattan, shut down earlier this year. Too many, the shutdown was a victory following decades of a protest about safety and environmental concerns. Here the problem when operating the Indian Point provided more electricity than is produced annually by solar and wind in New York State. But there are concerns about the safety of these plants. It has been running since 1990, but the number of operating nuclear units in the United States has been declining. They are shutting them down year after year. And you can see from 2010 to 2020, there have been a steady decline in the number of these nuclear power plants. But now they want to open them in Africa. People should also be very, very worried of that and ask themselves why the important question. Going back to Gabon, I was saying that in Gabon, the country, which is run by one dictator who is known as Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo is the president. I think he has been in power for over a decade, more than a decade, if I'm not mistaken. And before then, his father was also the president. He was known as Ali Bongo as well. It's two Ali Bongos running the country. And these are people who do not have any interest in, looking at how they can improve the lives of the Gabonese people. What they do is they are just puppets put there by the West. And for most of these African leaders, almost all of them are
like the same thing that is happening in Kenya. Because you remember when you were sharing the link on how how Kenyatta did not do anything for the citizens even when they were acquiring freedom. The same thing is happening right now. Uhuru is on the seat, but we've seen that he has done nothing, but he's adding debt after debt, in the country, and ensuring that people are not even developing in any way. Then you have the KRA, which is also coming for us. It's really messed up, whereby the government is not really, the African leaders are really being controlled by these particular puppets, and they have accepted the whole thing.
So, but I would just like to engage Mr. Simono, which is a way forward for Africa when it comes to these matters to do with the environment, and also when it comes to these matters to do with conservation and energy. What would be the way forward? Because I was saying that we do have an energy deficiency, and for us to be moving forward in terms of industrialization, we cannot do industrialization without energy. So, but if you're being told not shut down your coal or to
I think solar and hydro energy should be the way to go.
Okay, I think I would.
Solar and hydro energy should be the way to go.
I think I would agree.
But Spikes, we have to have.
Go on.
Listen, Spikes, we also have to have an extensive conversation on how to tackle these sanctions. To enlighten people that there's always a way out. Because when our people hear about those sanctions, it drains their energy, they're scared of those sanctions.
But
so I think we must have an extensive topic on that. Because I can't ask Keith the other day, and he kind of touched on it, but he never went deep enough. I think we have to do some research and come up with ways on how to tackle this major issue.
I think when it comes to sanctions, maybe I would just propose that more countries engage in bilateral trade as opposed to intra-Africa, intra-Africa trade. what you do for their countries, truly among us themselves. Because I have seen, not just in Zimbabwe, you remember even Sudan, there were so many sanctions placed on Sudan, and I think they were lifted the other day. And for the sanctions to be lifted, Sudan was told to pay money to the U.S. government. They were told that they would have to pay, I don't know how many millions of money, so that this money can go to the victims of, I don't know, terrorism in the U.S. That was the story.
So you see what these sanctions do to our people.
Yeah. So the government was asked, let me see how much money that the Sudanese had to pay. Sudan pay US aid to lift
These bloody sanctions. Oh my God.
It's economic terrorism to lift sanctions. Let me tell you how much money that was. Let me see if I found how much money.
And I'm scared of that shit too, Spikes.
Yeah. Now, but I think if we did have more intra-Africa trade, then the impact of these external sanctions would be minimized. You'll be able to mitigate the impact of the external sanctions, because if at all you're not even dealing so much, the volume of trade between you and the US or between you and the UK is not so much, then they're because I think that the sanctions come in terms of embargoes or the quotas. You cannot export this amount of this, you cannot import this amount of this, you cannot do this and that, your currency cannot do this, that. They are sanctions that are based on mostly your interaction or your trade with these countries. So if your interaction with them is minimized, then you
the
might as well
Spikes,
yeah.
with this intra-Africa trade, like Gaddafi attempted to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You recall when he wanted to have an African currency?
Yeah.
And these other African leaders had to support the guy, but they did not. That made it easy for the US to kill him. So if we are not going to have that leader who will take a stand and build this type of economic infrastructure to do that intra trade within Africa, I don't think we are going to make it.
I agree with you, but the money that Sudan had to pay to the US was $335 million, and Sudan had agreed to pay $335 million to the US victims of terror, so that they can be removed from the terrorism sponsor list, and the sanctions are lifted on them. So it's economic terrorism, if you do get to ask me. But our family, we are almost winding up with today's episode of the show. But yes, I agree with you, Simone, and how we can be able to mitigate against the effects of these sanctions. Maybe perhaps you give us a closing remark as we wind up, also for Joby and Kate. Maybe start with Shepo Simono. Hello, brother, can you hear me?
I think we lost him.
I'm not sure whether we still have a
Spikes?
Yeah, I was asking whether you have some closing remarks in the same regard.
The struggle continues.
Must keep
ongoing. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah. Now we can do something. Aluta continue. We are here to discuss on those matters, not say the struggle will continue. The struggle continues, but we need to find a way of getting out of the struggle. But yeah. So give us your closing remark as we wind up. I also see Sister Nishpenda. Thank you so much for joining us.
Let her come in.
No, I think Sister Nishpenda is the one who wants to say hello to Sister. No, she's not calling. I'll say she's on the comment section.
I want the one-on-one with me.
She's on the comment section. She's on the comment section. She's us. Yeah?
Throw her a link. Come on,
she can call us in via +254 WhatsApp call. Let me see if we can get a hold of Sister Nish with a WhatsApp. If Sister Nish would like to call us in. But the problem is I would have to set up a group call, because if I would have to set up a group call. Let me
Conference call.
Yeah,
okay, so I will do it some other time.
Yeah. Let me see
do
if
it some other time.
add anyone. Just finding a way if I can find anyone here. Let me see if I'll be able to find anyone else. Just a second before you hang up. I hope that you're still on the line. That you're still on the line. There. Okay. Let me see.
Can you hear me, Spice?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to see if I can get a hold of a...
You are breaking up. I can't hear you.
Keith, can you hear me? I was trying to get Keith on the line as well, but seems there might be a problem with that.
Hello?
Hi, Sister Nish, how are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if Shepo can hear you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. I think the sun is even coming down right now. It might be dark in a minute.
Yeah.
How are you doing, sister?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know the time.
Mm.
Oh, fine.
Where are you currently?
So
Are
you
you
want to
in
speak to me? The person who wants to speak to
Chef was,
Monique.
I'm not sure whether Chef, he can't really he
can't.
can't really hear me, so I don't know what's going on with that. But Simone, if you can hear me, you can
Okay. What dam's just.
You're breaking up, Spikes. I can't hear you properly.
Then it's probably a connectivity problem with us. But you can say hello to Sister Nish if you can. I don't know if you can hear her.
You're breaking up, Spikes.
No, there might be a problem.
There is a problem.
Sister Nish, we cannot even get a hold of a Simono anymore. So let's get Sister Monique. Let's get Sister Monique.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. But we just want to know how things are going.
Exactly.
Yeah, get Monique on the line. I want to speak to Monique.
Monique isn't on the show. Monique
Monique is my wife.
Yeah,
Monique is my
Monique is
wife from
on
the
the show.
US.
Okay.
It's alright. It's alright.
I don't know if you're ready for Monique. You have to prepare for Monique. I don't know if you. Monique is from Cali, like Keith. I don't know if you're ready for that black high fire.
Yeah, why is Monique so aggressive?
I don't think Simona is ready for the black
Because
fire.
she's a Cali girl. Cali women and New York women are, as far as U.S. women, they are tough. They are tough and they're aggressive. You can't go and play with them. The equivalent in Africa to them is Nigerian women. So yeah, you have to be more like.
Yeah, go on.
So that's all. So you just have to be ready for that kind of woman.
Yeah,
That's
it's a black or
women
fire.
in Cali, especially New York.
Nicious caring
They
sample.
stand up for themselves. They're aggressive. They don't joke around. You can't play with them
You
at
just-
all.
you just
So you
get
have
a
to be
brother.
ready. You have to prepare.
You just have to put a brother down.
But then how will we be able to communicate?
Go on.
Yes, I talk to Monique all the time. Monique is a very lovely and beautiful woman. Yes, if you talk sensible to her, you and her won't have a problem. Monique just don't
Like,
take
come
crap.
on, Nish. Even when you say hi, how are you? She's on you. Come on.
That's her. That's what I mean. Hey, hi. You gotta set it out.
Let the brother speak.
I said hi and I blew her a kiss and she came at me.
Let the brother speak. Let the brother speak his piece. But I hope that everything is well. And Sister Nish, I hope you're ready for December. I hope you're ready for December. I understand you're also getting ready.
I have
Yeah.
Y'all know me. My stuff is on everything planned. Is just to get on the airplane.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
also looking forward to that.
Everything is planned.
I don't know if Zobi and Akita are also looking forward to the same.
I am. I'm really, I'll be happy to meet you, Nish. I'll be so excited. And of course, the fun and everything. Just learning more.
Of course, I'll be so happy to see y'all. If y'all seen any of our other videos, you know we're gonna have a good time and fun. And like I said, we're going.
And also
Nish, I'm going to Tanzania again.
yeah, she will. She will be going to Tanzania in next month. I don't know if Shepa wants to meet us there, but Sister Monique is not coming. That I can promise you. So that's a
Monique
big
is scared of these. Monique is scared of these fights, not the other way.
Oh, okay. I think I am. Monique is scared of her. Yes, you want.
She's scared of me,
Yeah,
man, not the other way.
So yeah, it's. I think Nish got it wrong. But family, we are winding up. With the episode is getting a little bit later. It's 6:15 right here in Nairobi. But we are winding up. I don't know. I wish I
I'm
could.
gonna tell her you did that too.
Yeah, it's
What is that, Nish?
No, I think Simona is a Google, all the way Google about Sister Monique, but it's all out. And we appreciate the Black Hot Fire family for being with us and also giving us
Monique is a very beautiful lady, so I'm gonna say it.
yeah. So Simona, thank you so much for being with us. I think I will also thank Sister Nish for also being with us.
I'll be watching on later on the show later because I'm off today, so I'll be watching.
Okay.
Okay, bye y'all.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Have a good remaining part of the day. Simona, you have something else that you, as we wind up, as we just winding up. So give us a closing remark as we finish, if you're still on the line.
What?
I'm saying if
I
you're
can't
still on the
hear you,
line,
Spikes.
give us a closing remark if you're still on the line with us. Give us a closing remark.
Yeah, man, like I said, Spikes, we need to have like an extensive conversation on how, as black people, we are going to deal with these potential sanctions. Because they will always be there, Spikes.
Yeah, true.
We need to come up with a solution. Yeah.
And I agree with you 100%. We should have something more, collaborative ideas, or like a think tank on how to deal with these particular matters, because the African youth right now are the future. For Kate and Joby, some closing remarks.
For me, I'd love to agree with that, Seppo. The same thing. If only we had the African leaders who are willing to stand with Africa itself, like the way the guy mentioned, the one who was killed, Gaddafi, like the way he was willing to stand with the whole Africa. We only need leaders who are going to unite together and come up with ideas to solve Africa matters within the African continent, and be able to escape from all this, slavery, because it's still like we are under slavery. We've been controlled, we've been told what to do, and so many things. So if only we the citizens, we agree with the leaders, and we come together and we say this is what we want, and we stand with our stand, instead of having second thoughts about it. But nonetheless, I want to appreciate everyone who has joined us. Thank you, Nish. Thank you, Tsepo. Thank you, Kit, for also giving us this platform. We appreciate you every time that you are here with us on the broadcast.
Peace, family.
Peace to you too, brother. Have a good remaining part of the day. We appreciate you and your time for joining us on the show. We hope to catch up also later as we proceed. Katie?
Okay, thank you, family, to all those who joined us. And since we don't have any leader left who's not corrupt, it's upon to us. This is upon to us. We should fight for our lives and fight for ourselves. Fight for our freedom. Yeah, true.
I agree with you 100%, and thank you so much for being always with us. We shall also be winding up with this particular episode with one more jam, and this is Kobo by the one and only Sharp MC. Till next time, we want to say
Kwaheri.
Let's see.